doing for years. Allow him to have some time to at least to try to get better at it and try to get where he needs to be at least halfway decent, because it's a dream that he chased and he wanted to chase, and he gave everything to do it.
Right.
Did you think it would be a harder transition to go from pro wrestler to UFC, well, MMA, or MMA to wrestling?
It's both the same, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. They're both two different things. And like you said, how many people do you know? Because I did it, and on a large level, all of a sudden it's just supposed to be easy to do. And Brock Lesnar did it, and you look at Brock Lesnar, and he did it at a big level also, but he did pro wrestling first when he was doing the wrestling scene and stuff. He did that first. So he already had some groups there, and so did I even early on, but I was away from it for a long time and never at the level as a WWF. So for me, it's like this: you gotta allow people, when they decide that they want to try something different. It's like Jordan playing baseball, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, guy went out and tried to play something that he's always wanted to play, and because of his status, he was able to do that. So people were booing and hating on him because he wasn't as good as he was at basketball. Well, you know, the guy did everything he could in basketball. He wanted to go play baseball. If he wants to do that, let him try it. If he doesn't make it, doesn't make him a different guy. It just, in my opinion, for me, it tells me this guy will take the chance and go out there and show his weaknesses to everybody in the world, just so he can try to go do something he wanted to do when he was younger.
I agree.
Well, what about like Brock Lesnar? I mean, do you think that when he transitioned over to MMA, do you think that he kind of got thrown in because of his status of being a pro wrestler and a heavyweight guy and a champion? I mean, his second fight in MMA was the title fight, right? Or the first one?
Well, no, he got a couple. I think he had a couple matches in there, but for Brock Lesnar, it was because the guy was an Olympic wrestler. I mean, the guy's big and strong. So he, in a lot of ways, he was able to go in there and take the bigger guys down and just pin them and then punch them. And he was so big and strong, there wasn't too many big guys that moved that well like him. So he was able to do pretty well just because he was a big, strong wrestler guy. There's some guys could go in there and say, hey, just, take him to the ground and flatten him out. And there wasn't a whole lot of really good submission guys at that super heavyweight or heavyweight spot. And when he did go against them, he ended up getting caught, but it's just because he didn't have the education he needed to be able to block with some leg locks and different types of submissions.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a little bit of a freak of nature, though. I mean,
right?
Nobody that big should be able to move that fast and that agile.
That's right. And so he got thrown in there way too soon. Like I always told people, if they would have brought him in and I think it was more on him. He wanted to go to the top. He wanted to get the title. He wanted to go fast. But if he would have taken and really be able to groom this guy and gave him 10 fights with some guys that were up and coming and get him comfortable in the ring and in front of the media and all the things that goes along with being in a championship fight, I think he could have been the greatest ever. But they didn't give him that time. They threw him right into the mix and expected him to be right there on top right away, and he just wasn't able to handle that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to utilize the star power, whether it was for ratings, merchandise, whatever the case may be. I mean, I don't think anybody, including Brock Lesnar, can ever frown upon his UFC career, whether it's over or not. I mean, he is going to be 41 this year, so I don't know how much UFC's even got left in him, if he's got any. But nobody can ever knock him for wrestling, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, or UFC. I think he's proved his point that he was able to do it all at a high level.
Absolutely, no question. And I don't. And listen, and they can knock him. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's skip ahead to April. MZ Promotions is bringing you to New Orleans, Louisiana, to Wrestlecon. Something that you're familiar with. You were there last year with them in Orlando, Florida. Just tell us a little bit about your experience with that convention, because it's being so large with so many people from all over the world. Like, how was your experience?
Well, my experience was great. In fact, this one year I went there. One of the promoters that I was with, It was awesome because I got to see him actually beat up one of the talent guys there. It was awesome, man. I was like, this is my kind of promoter.
Oh, boy.
It's like, I'm not sure Heidenreich thought so, but hey, you know, the thing about an event like that is that you get so many different people that come there. You got hardcore wrestling fans. You've got, you know, just normal people who watch wrestling. You got people that have come there that just come with their spouses because they're big time fans, and then you got kids that, you know, just have followed ever since they were little. Their parents brought them there, so now they're growing up, and then you get ones that. It's generations of a family. They got their kid, and that their dad brought them, and the dad brought them, and they're all there. Right. So for me, it's a great time to see everybody come together and really have an opportunity to really enjoy themselves and be able to meet a lot of the wrestlers and at a high level, not where you're walking into an armory where guys can't walk, and it's just a really sad sight to see some of the guys sitting around that can't hardly talk.
Right.
I mean, this is done at a professional level. The guys that are there are all really first class. Most of them. I mean, obviously, some of them slip through the cracks that shouldn't be there, but the majority of them are all good people, and so it's good to see that kind of a promotion, and for them to be able to put these wrestlers in a position to where they can start making money off their name, the things that they've done in the past. And for so long, there was a lot of that stuff was kept out, and guys weren't able to capitalize on what they had generated over the years in their name.
Yeah, I agree, and I guess so much for the if we were going to hear about that Heidenreich incident or not.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like, did I just see that correctly? It's like, okay, well, it's like okay, well, just let me kind of steer away from this. Tables are flying, and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's like it's a shoot.
Heidenreich's a big boy, but
yeah.
To me, I'm not worried.
I didn't even know what the hell. I was sitting on the other side of the room, and I think it was Joe Bellini came over, and he was like, "Yo, did you just see what the hell happened?" And I literally had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, neither did Heidenreich. It was like I think he walked into a hornet's nest and go, "Wait a minute, he's fighting back."
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I learned from the best.
he's pushing him around, and all of a sudden he got his hand bit. It's like, yeah, you can't stick your hand in the cage that many times without getting bit.
Yeah, I didn't understand the well, I don't think he understood the mentality, what was going on there. I mean, I don't think he was in control, if you know what I mean.
No, you know, that's the thing when we talk about some of these events and some of the people that show up there. It's really nice for the fans to be there and for these guys to be able to capitalize on making money off of what they've worked on for so many years. But there's like I said, every now and then you get some guys that come in there and that they're not bad people, but they're in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's just where Heidenreich was. I think that there's maybe a lot of the guys the same way, where it's just not going the way they want it to, and they're stressed out because they have these different things that are happening at home. And I think it just all came to a head then. So it was like I said, it was sad to see, but I think it worked out the way it was supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, just we're so glad that we could build a relationship with you and keep it. And you know, that was in the past. None of that will happen this year.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I saw the writing on the wall, man. It's sad because you hate to see people that you're in a business with and you work together for so long, and everybody was making good money, and then to see them in that environment, in that situation, it breaks your heart. You just wish that things would be better for them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, you and myself, we know, you know, personally that we've helped him in the past. We won't go into full detail with that. And then you see how people just turn on you, you know? Yeah,
and again, like I said, I think that situations and environments that these guys put themselves into, obviously it's their responsibility on where they're at. It tends to turn them into something that they normally wouldn't do. And I don't think Heidenreich would be that kind of person if he didn't have the things that are going on. But again, like I said, you got to turn and look yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? This is all on me, and I have to change it. I'm the only one that can change it.
Right, right.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, on a positive note, I mean, like I said, we're not going to have our a big entourage down there WrestleCon this year. Right now, it's just you and Charles Wright, Godfather. He's going to be doing the Godfather gimmick one day and the Papa Shango the next. And we have two potential other ones that we can't announce as of yet. So everything should be nice and smooth this year.
Yeah, and again, like that has no reflection on him at all. I think that these guys, every time that I have come down and worked with them, it's been nothing but first class. So that's why I keep coming. It's like, it's not something that I like to do very often, is leave my house and especially my home and stuff. My wife and stuff with a good time right now, good position. But I've always promised myself that I would, at the end of my career, that I would make the time to go and meet the people that have supported me over the years, which is the fans. Mm-hmm. And so I've built some good relationships with these guys. I built, there's only a few other ones that I've built relationships with that I will continue to keep doing, just because I know when I go that it's going to be done first class and it's not going to be anything that's going to be shady. So I'm really happy to be a part of these guys. I'm really happy to be able to come back and work with them.
Well, thank you.
There you go, Dave. I mean, good. Ken, great job, though, because now his ego, he's not even going to be able to get his head through the doorway.
Listen, Kev, I hope you recorded that. I'm making shirts with that slogan now.
You got to make sure. You got to make sure you got a really large head, and then that you run the town.
I run the town that I go to.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, are you looking forward to? I mean, I'm sure you've traveled the world and probably been in New Orleans before, but you looking forward to being in New Orleans in April?
Yeah, absolutely. And I say, I guess I'll have to find out then, but I think April is a good time to come to New Orleans, just because I think if you go more in the summertime, the humidity's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've been told that it's just.
Yeah,
it's
so I
just
think
unbearable.
April's a good time.
Now you've been there before, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I've been there several times. Yeah,
we're gonna have to pick your brain then to find out all the good places to eat.
Yep,
yeah, oh, dude, I'm telling you, every corner. Yeah, it's awesome.
All right.
So,
I love to eat, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but you gotta stop eating at TGI Fridays and Buffalo Wild Wings while we're on vacation.
Hey.
Yeah, we stay away from the ones that you can normally eat at. You gotta go. You gotta do the New Orleans gig.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We were in Orlando, and this guy's eating at Buffalo Wild Wings and TGI Fridays. I'm like, what are you doing? You can eat that at home.
What do you mean? We go to Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, did they have a White Castle there? Because that's only where RDP brings his people.
Yeah.
White Castle. Yeah.
So Dave, what else you got that you like Mr. Shamrock to inflate your ego with?
I think that's great. I mean, I think you went over just pretty much everything that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Wrestlecon, you guys can buy tickets at Eventbrite.com. Pre-sales are up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Meet Ken, take photos. We'll have some UFC gloves available for sale. Take photos. Make sure you get there and see them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are the hours posted on there as well?
The hours are to be determined right now. We're going to see what the best hours that we could bring him there. Obviously, It's going to be the main hours that are there. He's going to be there 4 hours each day, Friday and Saturday, not Sunday. So make sure you stop by and say hi, spend some money.
Yeah, it's fun to be able to listen. It's a fun time, and it's like for me when I go to these things, and every time I go to them, people always say the same thing. And it's not like I'm trying to blow my own, toot my own horn or anything like that, but I really do like meeting my fans, and it shows when you come to these events and people come and talk with me. And one thing they always say is, "Man, he just seems so personal. He's always nice." And it's like, listen, it's not something that I have to do because I feel like that it's a show I'm putting on. No, it's because I really think it's important that people understand that I appreciate the support that they've given me over the years. And so when I go to do these things, I go there because I want to shake hands with all the people that support